Hey, welcome in, y'all. We're getting ready to have a quick little watch party while I'm getting my stuff ready. Um, let's get this up and running. I was watching this behind the scenes and I said, you know what, we can just go ahead and have a watch party on this because somebody put up a post. Oh, you know who it was? It was Monty Mater. Let me go through my hey, welcome back in everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. You know what? I did not get to work out. Um they don't have workout classes in the afternoon on on Saturdays, and then so I have to catch the morning one tomorrow. So I figured I would do laundry instead. Um but I wanted to show you all something real quick because uh come on in y'all, come on in. We're doing a quick little watch party because I wanted to show you all something. Because remember when we did our call-a-thon to Congress, and people were like, "Oh, does calling work? This, that, and the other, right?" Calling definitely does work. Having okay, here,
I'm here.
here. Let me show you all this real quick. Welcome in, welcome, 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 welcome. All right. I'm so far from all of my stuff, so it's not like it used to be. Uh, let me see if I could get it up on this screen here. All right, there we go. All right.
Here in Minneapolis. I'm right outside the Hennepin County Government Center, and we just had an update. I'm going to show you the video of what happened first and explain what happened. That happened 2 hours ago. The Chief Public Defender's Office had clients in visiting them about their cases. ICE came in and stole them from the Public Defender's Office while the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department gave them cover, shielded them to allow them to kidnap people who were visiting their attorney. And that has all been confirmed by the Chief Public Defender that these are our clients. They were in our office meeting with us, and ICE came and took them from our care with the protection of Hennepin County Sheriff's Office. I'm here in Minneapolis. I'm right.
Okay, so that's Monty Mater. She was originally talking about Bible stuff, then she got into the politics stuff. And so I guess she's out there. Let me show you all what my comment was. Okay. Trying to figure this out here. All right. So a few hours ago, I saw this, and my comment was, so the corruption goes up to the top. I'm like, Tim Walz, what is he saying? Right? That was my comment because I'm like, okay, so these people can really only do, oh, where's my applause? I'm like, these people can really only do what it is that people are allowing them to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, are you all able to hear this? The numbers on the broadcast are a little low, so I don't know what's going on. It could be because I got Mamdani and Ice in the title. Who knows? But we're going to be doing a watch party. I'm going to let you all hear this Mamdani clip because I was watching it behind the scenes, and then I was like, you know what? More people need to hear this. So I said, let's just do a quick watch party while I'm getting my laundry together because I figured, okay, if we're going to do a show, I might as well get my background up. And I need to wash the curtains that I had up in the old place before I put them up in the new place. So I was like, well, I'm going to wash the curtains. Might as well wash my bed sheets as well. So we're going to be doing that. But I'm just like, you know, so many people are talking about, oh, what ICE is doing. And oh, remember when Mamdani got elected? I was like, do you all think that so Mamdani's father teaches at Columbia University. Remember, Columbia University is where they were deporting students who were protesting the genocide in Gaza, right? And I'm like, well, Mamdani's father works there. Do you think Mamdani is going to let ICE come on campus? Do you think Mamdani is going to let the NYPD beat up students at his father's college or his father's university? I think not, said the Grot. So I was listening to this Mamdani video and I was like, oh, okay. So Mamdani is laying the smackdown on ICE. And I want us to hear what it is that he's saying, because Mamdani is a democratic socialist, and there's so many people that are like, oh, you're a Marxist, you're a socialist, and all this other stuff. This is what the elites do not want us to know. I just found this out this past week myself, and I'm in my second year of a master's program at an Ivy League institution. And let me ask you all a question. According to what it is that you know, how old is capitalism? Just don't Google it. Just go off the top of your head. How old is capitalism? Because I was reading this paper in one of my classes. It's not a research paper per se, but it's like a lit review kind of thing, right? How old? Please throw some numbers up. I want to see if you all, how old is capitalism? Because we're born into this system. And we think that this system always was. So you all know that because I'm asking you the question, that capitalism hasn't always been. So that's kind of a little giveaway then, because I've been asking people this over the past 2 days, right? How old is capitalism? Throw up some numbers. I see Coolers in the house, Tories in the house, Dee Dee's in the house. Lisa just waved hello. Okay. So D. Aisha says 100 years. So that means that it would have started in the 1920s, right? I have no idea. 62 years. So 62 years, because we're in 2026. So a person born in 1966 would be 60. No, yeah, a person born in 1966 would be 60. So 1964 would be 60 years. So we have 200 years. Okay, someone is saying as old as America. I'm going to tell you all, because we have all been the victims of educational violence. Every Black person needs to know this. Every Black American needs to know this. And this is part of the reason that I'm telling you all this today. But do not take my word for it. Look into it yourself. Let me stand up for this. Let me stand up for this one here. Capitalism began in the 1600s. What else began in the 1600s? Please answer in the comments, please. Please. Capitalism began in the 1600s. Please answer in the comments what else started in the 1600s, because this is something that every Black person needs to know, because we don't know what capital is. That's why we don't understand what capitalism is. And I'm about to teach you all something real quick, because they talk about democratic socialism. Oh, it's the boogeyman. They talk about communism. Oh, you a red commie, the commie scare. You'll be arrested if you talk about communism. Why? Someone says it's older than the people living on Earth now. I hear you. Simply says 500 years. Big Joe says is not answering the question. Or maybe they're tagging someone. I don't know. All right. Shout out to Michelle and Tori, who were the first two people to say it. Every Black person needs to understand how we got into this economic system. What was the fueling source of capitalism, and what keeps capitalism going right now? Capitalism began slavery. Listen. We have been victims of educational violence. Slavery is what fueled this new system of capital. This country, Portugal, Spain, and England were all built, listen, Wall Street, oh Lord, listen. Capital is excess earning potential. That's what capital is. Human bodies were the ones that were being sold. And the excess capital, the excess earning potential, the labor potential, the labor power, excess labor power. That's what capital is. I'm still learning, but this is what I know it to be so far, right? And the money so there was an endless supply of Black bodies in Africa. All you had to do was go there and round them up. And with that, you can sell a human being and you can make capital, excess labor potential from selling that person or using that person for their labor. One of my professors says that slavery is capitalism at its best, that is the direction that capitalism wants to take people. But I'm in a class that's talking about Marxism right now, and I'm learning that capitalism, that slavery isn't even the lowest form of degradation, but someone said racial hierarchy, right? And the person who said racial hierarchy is onto something, because racial hierarchy is what keeps capitalism going right now. So from what it is that I'm learning so far, when you have a slave, when you have a person enslaved, you have to feed them, you have to clothe them, you have to give them shelter, although as meager as it has been. But what's lower than that? What's lower than that is a wage worker that you can pay so little and then still send him home after. You can pay them a pittance, just enough for them to fill their belly for the night, to buy a little roof over their heads, and keep them entrenched in a system of selling their labor for which you're not responsible for their food, clothing, or shelter. You give them a few pittance and you send them the hell on their way. Slam, bam, thank you, Sam. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this system that we are in is built on racism, and it is run by classism. And where it is that we are now, like, you cannot talk about capitalism without talking about racism. So when we have people who are saying, oh, this administration is capitalism is racist. Capitalism is racist. When people call you a Marxist or a socialist as an insult, they're the ones who are playing mind games on you, baby. Because what system existed before capitalism, hun? What existed? So we're getting ready to listen to a democratic socialist, Mamdani. And we're going to have a little watch party while I'm doing my thing in the background, right? So, let's get his video up. Here it is. Listen, Michelle is saying white people started all this mess. Oh, excuse me. No, dear. No. White is an illusion. Black is an illusion. There was no such thing as race before slavery. Europeans started this mess. Europeans created whiteness. Did you know, and I did not know this, did you know the Irish were slaves, were enslaved to England? They enslaved the people closest to them. Did you know that Irish people were not considered white? I didn't know that, but they're considered white now. Why? These are the questions that we need to ask. What was it that changed, and how does it still benefit the system today to have a system of people who feel that they're better than a permanent underclass of people, So what existed before capitalism? There was a barter system, yes. However, people were considered nature people. We lived off of the land, we farmed the land. What changed? How did the farms become privatized? Why do you have to go to a grocery store? Why do you need money? What happens if you don't have money? What happens if you're too young too old, or too sick to work. Why do you need money? Where did that come from? These are questions that we need to ask, and I hope that I'm planting the seed. April is saying, I've known that for a long time. Irish were not considered white, but did you know that they were enslaved? I did not know that they were enslaved. And Mr. is saying, that's exactly why it wasn't slavery that started. That's not a complete sentence, dear. You have to do a little better than that, because while I'm looking at the screen, because I'm going to be turning around in a moment, and I'm not going to be able to see your thing. So here, let's go ahead and get this video up and running. And I'm just going to be doing my stuff in the background.
We will make it clear once again that ICE will not be able to enter New York City property without a judicial warrant. ICE operates here in New York, in our courthouses, our workplaces.
How is the sound? Because I'm listening to it on the speaker, so you need to let me know if there's an echo. All right, because the microphone might be picking up the echo, but I have it tuned in such a way that it shouldn't, but if it does, please let me know. All right, so let me know, please. Speak now.
They skulk at 26 Federal Plaza.
If you go into the description of the video, you will see contact details there for me. I mean, you're not new here, are you? If you are, welcome to the party. You're tardy.
The
All right,
same
let's
building
go.
where I waited in fear as my ICE operates here in New York, in our courthouses, our workplaces. They skulk at 26 Federal Plaza, the same building where I waited in fear as my father had his citizenship interview. If these are not attacks upon the stranger among us, what is? ICE is more than a rogue agency. It is a manifestation of the abuse of power. And it is also new. It was founded only in 2002. 4 mayors ago, it did not exist. Its wrongs need not be treated as inevitable or inherited. In fact, we know that there is no reforming something so rotten and so base. I think of a story that Reverend Galbraith, the senior...
Okay, so someone is saying people have been enslaved for thousands of years before then. Unfortunately, written history is very young. And the only slavery that matters for modern times is chattel slavery. Nothing else matters, because the type of slavery that existed back in the days was nothing compared to chattel slavery. There's no slavery in history that has ever done what invented white people have done to an invented class of quote unquote Black people. There is nowhere in history ever where a person would be born into slavery for perpetuity, that their children would be enslaved, and that the only purpose of their womb would be to create slaves, and that your very existence, is as a subcategory of human. Nowhere in history. And let me tell you, anybody on my channel who is trying to say different needs to go educate themselves and then provide me the source, because you're not going to come here and blow hot air out of your white ass at me. Do you motherfucking stand what I am goddamn saying here, motherfucker? Go get your fucking source, because I am telling you that I am on the master's level, and I'm telling you what it is that I have learned. I don't give a fuck what you've heard on Joe Rogan's podcast or somebody else out there who is blowing farts out their stinking ass. You are going to come here with facts, or you're going to shut the fuck up. That's it. That's it right there. If you understand what I'm saying, throw up a hand in the air. I'm not trying to play with none of you fools out here. because people want to try to conflate and try to pretend as if other people have gone through what African Americans have gone through, and there is no human being on earth who has been done. An entire system was created around the degradation of Black people. You're not going to come over here and gaslight me. Not at all. Not at all. So here, let's continue going forward. Let's hear Mamdani speak, a democratic socialist, because if you know what's motherfucking good for you, right, you would be trying to get out of this capitalistic system. That, listen, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Oh, okay, so the people know. The people know. Don't come here playing. Take your foolishness somewhere else. All right, let's get into Mamdani. Let me go back just a little bit, all right?
Rotten and so base. I think of a story that Reverend Galbraith, the senior pastor at Clarendon Road Church, who is here with us today, shared recently. 2 Haitian immigrants in his congregation, a father and son, had traveled to 26 Federal Plaza for fingerprinting. The man's wife, the boy's mother, had gone the week before without incident. They thought little of the trip. It was routine. In New York, surely, one would be safe at an appointment like this. And then without explanation or warning, they were whisked away. ICE took them first to the Brooklyn Detention Center. The next day, they were flown to Louisiana. They felt hopeless and helpless, Reverend Galbraith said. Hopeless and helpless. If these are not attacks upon the stranger among us, what is? As the federal government attacks our neighbors, those who worship in just the next pew over, they command us not to believe what we see.
I need to just say this again, right? I need to just pause this real quick and just say this for you all. Listen, so-called white people, you are not the moral leaders that you think that you are. You all have exhibited a tremendous amount as a collective. Now, there are pockets of people here and there who do things differently, but as a collective, the very essence of whiteness was created for hierarchy. And as a collective, you all are sitting idly by while the Constitution is being trampled on, right? You all have stockpiled guns for the damn insurgency, stockpiled it for the deep state. And the fucking deep state is right before you. It's right before you. The trampling on we the people Constitution is right before you. But instead of picking up arms, listen, instead of picking up arms, look, if you can't listen to Mamdani speak, then I don't know what to tell you. The title of this video is titled accurately. And I don't know how you can listen to me and you say you can't listen to him. Tell me, what is the issue that you have with what it is that he's saying? Is it the way he talks, or is it what he's talking about? Because lots of people can sit back and listen to a lot of different things, like fake ass church leaders who are not following any of the words of Christ. Fake ass church leaders who got their hands on a convicted predator's back, praying around him in the Oval Office while they sit around in their crystal jets. Listen, don't play with me. Don't play with me. Listen, don't play with me. I love to hear Mamdani speak. Let me play some more of him.
They compel us, as George Orwell wrote nearly 80 years ago, to reject the evidence of our eyes and our ears. And they would succeed were it not for the many among us who have not only read the Scripture, but who live the Scripture, those who refuse to abandon the stranger. I speak of Renee Good, whose final words to the man who murdered her moments later were, "I'm not mad at you." I speak of Alex Preddy, who died as he lived, caring for the stranger. Here was a man who held the hand of the afraid and the afflicted in their final moments. Here was a man who dedicated his life to healing those he had never met. ICE shot him 10 times because he did something they could never fathom doing themselves. He extended his arm towards a stranger, not to push her down, but to help her up. I speak of the tens of thousands across our city and our nation who took to snowbound streets in the dead of winter, refusing to allow those with the most power to impose their will upon those with the least. If that is not love for the stranger among us, what is? In a moment such as this, I look to the Bhagavad Gita, which teaches us that the highest calling is to become someone who sees the true equality of all living beings and responds to the joys and sorrows of others as if they were their own. Each of us has been a stranger at one point in our lives. Each of us has known the feeling of arriving somewhere new alone, of depending on the kindness of someone else. As ICE fosters a culture of suspicion and fear, let this city of strangers set an example for how to make the sorrows of others our.
Let me just say this one time so that anybody else can just make the decisions that they need to make. I title my videos appropriately. I do not clickbait and all of that stuff. I let you know what the video is about. The very first word in this video is Mamdani. The last word is watch party. We are here to have a watch party of Mamdani. Anybody who is holding hatred in their heart based on people's identity, hatred in their heart based on people's physiology, genealogy, I just don't have the space for you. I don't. And I wish you well on your search and your journey. My father is an immigrant. I'm the daughter of an immigrant. So if you have any problem with immigrants, immigration, all of that, then you're not going to like it here on my channel. I don't know what else to tell you. I am the product of a person who came from another land to this land, and I'm not ashamed of that, nor will I ever be ashamed of that. All right.
Our own. Let us offer a new path, one of defiance through compassion. In so doing, we can offer something more expansive and durable than a mere rejection of atrocity. We can rely on our faith to offer an embrace of one another. After all, few forces hold as much power to extend humanity to all. As Dr. King once said, the church is the one place where a doctor ought to forget that he's a doctor. The church is the one place where the lawyer ought to forget that he's a lawyer. When the church is true to its nature, it says, whosoever will, let him come. That doctrine, whosoever will, let him come, is not limited to Christianity. Each of our faiths asks us the same. I think of Exodus 23:9, the words of the Torah, "Thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt." Few have stood so steadfast alongside the persecuted as Jewish New Yorkers. I think of Michael Schwerner and Andrew Goodman, who gave their lives alongside James Chaney so that all could exercise the right to the franchise. I think of Rabbi Heschel, who marched from Selma alongside Dr. King. And I think of Yip Harburg, who wrote Somewhere Over the Rainbow and uplifted Americans waiting on breadlines during the Great Depression. I think of the freedom from suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the three poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives. We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, "As for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world." Or as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers." If faith offers us the moral compass to stand alongside the stranger, government can provide the resources. Let us create a new expectation of City Hall, where power is wielded to love, to embrace, and to protect. We will stand with the stranger today, tomorrow, and all the days that are still to come. And that is why this morning, right here in this moment, I shall sign an executive order that will uphold our city's protection not just of our fellow immigrant New Yorkers, but of all New Yorkers from abusive immigration enforcement. This order is a sweeping reaffirmation of our commitment to our immigrant neighbors and to public safety as a whole. We will make it clear once again that ICE will not be able to enter New York City property without a judicial warrant. That means our schools, our shelters, and our hospitals. That means we will protect New Yorkers' private data from being unlawfully accessed by the federal government and stand firmly against any effort to intrude on our privacy. No New Yorker should be afraid to apply for city services like childcare because they are an immigrant. This order mandates that essential city agencies are complying with city laws and directs them to conduct thorough audits of all policies guiding agency interactions with immigration authorities. And it will establish an interagency response committee so that in the event of a major crisis, we are ready and equipped to do the job of protecting New Yorkers. We will create a centralized mechanism for coordinating policy across agencies so that government speaks with one voice in times of need. City Hall will not look away. But we need our faith leaders with us. Your moral clarity, your integrity, they are the pillars upon which countless movements for justice have been built. Many of you have long practiced the tradition of supporting the forgotten and the downtrodden. When our immigrant neighbors are in trouble, they often turn first to their faith networks for counsel, for legal aid, for someone to accompany them to court. Today, I call upon you to help us give language to courage. Help us remind New Yorkers that they are not alone. We have prepared 30,000 guides to New Yorkers' rights in 10 languages, the ones most spoken by some of the most heavily targeted populations in our city, teaching our neighbors what to do if ICE targets them. These guides are here today, ready for you to take. If you run out, we will print more. I urge you to share these with your congregants, even those who are citizens, even those whom you think ICE may not target. These materials apply to us all. Those who have been here for 5 generations, those who arrived last year. They apply to us all because the obligation is upon us all to love thy neighbor, to look out for the stranger. If we are to truly champion the cause of the stranger, let these materials serve as instructions for how to stand in solidarity. If anything can turn back the rising tide of hatred, it is a chorus of those who worship differently and live differently, singing the same undaunted song. For we are all New Yorkers, and yet that has not always been accepted. My friends, for as long as people have called this city their home, a question has been contested. Who is a New Yorker? At each juncture, many have sought to narrow the answer. The stranger has been ostracized on job postings, on placards denying entry to restaurants and shops, in neighborhoods where only some New Yorkers were allowed to live. Every conceivable crack has been exploited into a chasm of division. On every occasion where the forces of darkness have raised the question, who is a New Yorker? The people of the city have offered our own answer. All of us. And yet we know that answer is not permanent, nor is it predetermined. Each generation must assert what we know to be true, because New York serves as living proof. We are stronger when we welcome the stranger.
let me just kind of clear this up in the comments. All right, race is imaginary. There is no cutoff line that says, oh, above this point of the equator, you're this or that. If you look, like, so genetics and genetic expression. So our genes turn on and off based on, a complex set of codes inside the genes. Like two people can be of quote unquote different races, but be more genetically similar than two people of quote unquote different race of the same race. For example, because life began in Africa, Africa is the most genetically diverse continent on the planet because it has all of the genes that created all of the people. This is why Black women have the Eve gene inside of us, right? So when it comes to whether or not Black people are indigenous to this land or whether, quote unquote, Native Americans are indigenous to this land, if you look at, from what it is that I've learned, if you look at the globe and you look at the population of the people on the globe, you'll see that closer to the equator, you see that people have darker skin because there's like UV resonance that exists in that area that makes people have to have melanin to be able to absorb or block out a certain amount of UV inside their skin. And they migrated all over the world. And every single person is a descendant of a person from Africa, right? I believe the Neanderthals are a different species. However, I'm not a genealogist specialist. I'm just giving you the overview of what it is that I know so far. And so, of course, there are going to be Black people who are native to this land because it's only in the mating of people with different gene expression and their furtherness from the white women do not have the Eve gene. Please go look it up. If you think about it, if you think about who is created from whom, white people cannot make a Black person. Or rather, the people that we know to be quote unquote white don't have the gene encoding inside of them. Their genes are recessive. They don't have the gene encoding to be able to create a person that is Black. There has to be some Black that's in there already. And then you have to think about the difference between Neanderthals and humans. And so then you have to go from there because Africans, from what it is that I have learned, do not have Neanderthal DNA. Nonetheless, right? Nonetheless, when we look at the earth, you'll see that there is a lightening of people the further that we get from the equator. So will there be Black people who are here in the Americas before the Europeans came? Of course. What is a European but an African who has genetically shifted, I don't want to say mutated, who has genetically shifted into losing their melanin and having their eyes lightened because they're trying to absorb more vitamin D, etc., right? Or because they're trying to reflect more vitamin D. Either way, it has something to do with vitamin D, etc. So, yes, of course, there are going to be Black people who are native to this land. Yes, of course. Because Black people went all over this globe to populate it with people. And then as time passed, the gene expression changed. Our hair is coily to be able to keep our scalps cool, right? Listen, I don't promote any brand. So don't talk about brands on my channel. Ain't nobody sponsoring me. Let's go.
This will not be an easy contest. Those on the other side, the ICE agents of the world, hold power and weaponry and a sense of impunity. And yet we hold one advantage over them. One advantage that no matter how hard they try, they cannot overcome, as they mask their faces to attack and murder. We are not ashamed of our answer. So let us answer the question, who is a New Yorker, once more, with conviction and without shame. It is all of us. So together, New York, let us advance the cause of the orphan. Together, New York, let us advance the cause of the widow. Together, New York, let us love the stranger among us, because we are them and they are us. Thank you.
And as soon as I sit down, it goes off. Oh, okay. All right, so that's it right there. That's done. So we watched the whole thing. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on what it is that we've heard? Oops, wrong one. There we go. These are my lights right here. So I wrapped my lights around this like a, you know how like you used to roll your hair up back in the day? So I wrapped my lights because these things, you know how they say that you can tell a lot about a person by how they deal with tangled lights? Two other things, I don't remember. But I knew that the patience that I had to exhibit to untangle or to disentangle these lights from my previous place. Whew. I learned a lot about myself because I just went into a zone and I untangled all of it and then I wrapped it up around like a roller. Remember when we used to wear those pink rollers back in the days? Well, nonetheless, I'm gonna go do my laundry I'm gonna go wash these curtains and then I'll try to get ready and do a video. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get the set back up and all of that, right? So we'll see. Slowly but surely, because you know what? I'm not going to be here in this space very long. But a vlogger that I covered like a few years ago died. And that really made me realize that life is not guaranteed to any of us. Like we can go at any time. And so with the time that we do have, we might as well live it in a way that feels good to us. So I'm going to wash these curtains. I enjoyed hearing what Mamdani said. He really makes me feel like all of this stuff that's going on, that there is government collusion that's allowing this, because I can guarantee you in Mamdani's New York that ICE will not be acting like they're acting in Minnesota. What is different about New York besides the people, because we New York strong, but what's going on with the government? Because Charles Schultz or whatever whatever his name is, what's this guy Chuck Schumer, that's his name. Chuck. So I'm gonna cover that in the story when we come back a little bit later. My lips are all dry. My bad. Let me go do this laundry so that I could get ready. And then maybe I'll come back and do a video when I'm putting up the lights, but I don't know, because I don't know how difficult it's going to be to get them up, but we'll talk about that in the next video. So make sure that you are getting your notifications. I'm doing, here, let me try to get this for you. I need you all to fill out this survey. I need you all to fill out this survey. Here's the survey right here. I am getting the text notification squad turned into an app, and so that you all can have, what the F? This is not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get this link. Give me 1 second. Let me go back and get this link. Inside the description of this video, you'll see a link to the app. And then I'm going to put it inside the comments area as well. I've already sent over the first set of answers over to the app developer. So if there's a feature that you want in the app, speak now or hold your peace until the next iteration, because app making is not cheap. And so for this build, we are trying to do as many doable things as possible. So please take that survey. The link is right there and it's also in the description. Take the survey and then let me know your thoughts. Tell me everything. And then I'll see you all in the next video. Wish me luck, okay? Because this is my first time trying to use the washing machine at this new place. And now they have apps. So gone are the days of the coin and all this other stuff. Now they have apps. And So I got to go try to figure all of this out. So I'll see you all when I come back. So I'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much. I wish I had some music for us to go out to. Here, let me put up the QR code for you all. Here's the QR code on the screen if you want to contribute to the music licensing fund. We are almost halfway to the cost of it. So we're gonna go out to some music, and the music is Let's Dance by, I'm not sure, do 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 do. Let's dance, let's dance, My self-love lesson from today's video. Let's dance. My self-love lesson is, so you could type down SLL. My self-love lesson. Here, I got my little curtain rods. I'll do some drums for you all. My self-love lesson is to be proud of who it is that I am, to keep my heart open to love, and to allow those who also have their hearts open to love to be closest to me. All right, let's dance. Hey, to all the girls out there who were not drum majors but majorettes, a shout out to you. If you were ever a majorette or a color guard, if you were a color guard, put up a 1 if you were a color guard, put up a 2 if you were a majorette. Let me know. Let's dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. Hey, if you wanted to be 1 but were never 1, put up a 3. Let's see who was out there doing what in my audience. Hey, all right. All right, let me get ready. Let me see. Get my watch back on. All right. Kinsley, I appreciate you. Yes, drop some coins in the collection plate for the music. Oh, we have 1 person. Wait, number 1 was for color guard, right? Number 2 was for majorette. So we have 1 majorette who was here. Mum T is saying, you are so beautiful. You need a baby. What is this? What? You see how these people are like, oh, you're so beautiful and free. You need to be tied down. Oh, there's 1 person who wishes that they were. What's stopping you from learning now? There's so many YouTube videos out there. I was a color guard in my day. So I would be the ones that had the flags, and we would have our flags, and we would be like, doo, 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 and we would do this. You can't see it. It's twirling around. But I would be like, oh, and I would do my little flag thing, and the flag would be ding, and I would throw it up into the air and catch that mofo back, boom, and I would be like, do, 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 and I would go, whoo, and throw that thing up in the air, and that thing would be like, boom, and come back down, and I would be like, do, 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 marching in place, and I would be like, and then I could go back from side to side, and I would be throwing that flag around, and I would be like, boom, and I would throw that thing up, and it would come back down, and I would catch that mofo straight. All right. Somebody thinks I lost weight. I haven't worked out in so long, and I feel so weak. I feel like I lost muscle because I was 118 pounds of muscle before I became unwell, and then I'm down to like 110 pounds of muscle. So I don't yeah, but nonetheless, like all weight loss is not good weight. Like I want to keep my muscle, but you know, Whatever. I'll see you all in the next video. Self-love lessons, you can write them in the comments. I'll see you all. All right. Let me go out to some music. Just dance. Oh, I forgot to check my thing. My phone. Let me check the collection plate and see how close we are to the music licensing fee now. Let's see. You see how these men are, right? Oh, we got some contributions that have come in. Hey, all right. So we got $25 that has come in from Claire, but she did not say that it's for the licensing fee. So I need to ask her whether or not that's for the licensing fee. So she sent in $25. And then, then she gave in $3 towards the streaming. So now we are up to $83 or no. I believe it's I think this makes $88. 88. I think it makes 88. Listen, I'm going to count it all up. Let me give her some hearts. And then I will see you all when we come back. All right? Hey, sweet baby. We have the 6 months old today. Happy 6 months. Happy 6 months. Happy, hey, it's your 6 months. Okay, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.